Hello everyone. In this week's episode, the March for Life and abortion is a topic for conversation on the international stage. The Ontario election, the federal CPC leadership race. It is Wednesday, May 11th, and this is Quick Updates. So abortion is becoming a topic of conversation here in Canada, and here's what Tabitha has to say about the activities happening this week.
With the leak of the U.S. Supreme Court decision last week that potentially could overturn Roe v. Wade, we're seeing that abortion is becoming a topic of conversation even here in Canada. Both in our media, you see constant articles on the topic, as well as from our parliamentarians who are bringing forward motions about abortion and potentially even introducing legislation. Now, in all the conversation about abortion that we generally see in our culture, there's a missing aspect. They talk a lot about a woman's right to choose in the abstract, but they don't mention the fact that she's choosing to end the life of a baby in the womb. And it's that baby in the womb, that preborn child, that the pro-life movement needs to make visible in this conversation. That's our job. That's your job. Now, this week, we have the opportunity to do that with the Marches for Life. I'm right here on Parliament Hill right now. On Thursday, this hill will be covered in people. There's also marches in Victoria, in Edmonton, in Regina, in Winnipeg, and in Toronto. Join a local one. Make sure that the preborn child is being recognized in this conversation. Now, when you go to these Marches for Life, there's likely going to be counter-protesters. Because of the rise of the controversial nature of abortion, especially in the last couple of weeks, it's very possible that some people will be very heated and very emotional. And what I want you to remember is that the counter-protesters, they are not the enemy. They are the mission field. That's the way we need to be viewing them, with compassion, with love, drawing them to our side, drawing them in with the truth and love. Now, at the same time, we can't do everything in a day. We can't change our culture in a day. We can't change our laws in a day. So come, join the March for Life, be a part of that action, but remember that that can't be the only thing that we do for preborn children. Write a letter to the editor, make that part of the conversation. Write to your MP, be developing that relationship. We're in this for the long haul as we strive to pass laws to protect preborn children. Back to you, Colin.
Thanks so much, Tabitha. You can go to arpacanada.ca/marches for more details about the March for Life near you. Next up, Ryan brings us an update from the ongoing Ontario election.
Thanks, Colin. So last week was the official kickoff of the Ontario election, and that means Ontarians will head to the polls June the 2nd to decide whether we send the Ford government back to power or whether a new party takes over control of the Ontario legislature. Now, to help you figure out where each party stands on the different issues, we've created an Ontario election guide. This guide looks at a number of different issues from family law, freedom of conscience and religion, education, health care, elder care, and we also look a little bit at COVID-19 response and how we move forward from here. And we also look at where each party stands on issues of vaccine mandates or proof of vaccination policies. So head on over to our website, download the guide. It'll help get you up to date and understand where each party is at on the issues. And also give a listen to or watch the video that Daniel Zekfeld and I made as this election campaign kicked off, where we address some of these issues as well, talk a little bit about the campaign. So again, head over to our website, get informed, and most of all, don't forget, vote on June 2nd. It is the best way that our voices can get heard politically. Back to you, Colin.
Thanks so much, Ryan. As for the federal Conservative leadership race, Tabitha and Levi sat down with me last week to discuss the first leadership debate and how things are lining up there. What stuck out for you? Obviously, there's big news out of the States that's been the topic of headlines and the topic of question period all week long. How does that factor in to this race?
Yeah, I mean, you had going into it, Dr. Leslyn Lewis just coming out incredibly clearly pro-life with, in just a way that we've loved to see, is that specific pro-life policies, banning sex-selective abortion, banning coerced abortion, supporting pregnancy care centers. Just great to see those very specific pro-life policies. But my favorite thing that she did last night was she tried to get a response out of Pierre Poilievre. Where does he stand on abortion?
Although ARPA officially is not partisan and we're not going to be backing any particular candidate, we definitely encourage individuals to be involved in political parties. And I believe, I think one of the candidates used this analogy, or someone used it, and I forget who it is now, where they basically said, when it comes to determining the prime minister, at least indirectly, basically every Canadian who is eligible to vote, something like 20 million people, contribute to that. While in the election of a party leader is a very small subsection of the population, maybe a couple 100,000 people probably at most.
You can watch the entire discussion at youtube.ca/ARPA Canada or at our Facebook page. That's it for quick updates this week. Thanks to you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.